county agent. No, he just didn't think it's possible, and other people, and then Dr. Clore, and he said, Bill, he said, we was all organic before 1945.
Right.
And we just didn't know it, and he encouraged me to do it.
Okay.
So that's how it all begun.
Yeah, you switched over to organic. How was that a difficult transition? How long did it take for your vineyards to recover from the pesticides, and how long does that take?
Oh, they were over it in about a year.
Really?
It stunned them pretty good, but I mean, they were back in production real good.
Good. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that Fetzer is an organic winery.
They were one of the very first.
Yeah. Yeah, and you were one of the very first. You were the first one here, weren't you, in Washington?
Yeah.
You were the
I
first.
was the only one.
The only one.
For years. And,
When,
and still, there's hardly anybody that's doing any. I mean, there's little acreages here and there, but nobody with any amount of production.
right. So all your vineyards up here are organically grown?
They've been ever since we started.
Yeah.
We went all out.
Yeah. And you said since you went organic, you haven't really had trouble with pests or bugs or...
Well, some bugs we've never seen. You know, once you establish the ecosystem where the good guys are out there, we call them the good guys,
Yeah.
the ones that eat the bad guys. And with the exception of one or two or three, cutworms, we've never been able to get them established. And leafhoppers. But we've figured out how to handle them organically.
Yeah, I hear you blow the cutworms off.
Yeah, we blow off the cutworms. Actually, that was kind of an accidental thing where we could use a few chemicals we've tried on them. And we're blowing the worms off of the vines, but they were right back the next time. Wouldn't kill them, the chemical wouldn't, but they were knocking them off. And so we went on, we just quit putting even any water in the sprayer, we just go out and blow them off. And you've got about 10 days to 2 weeks, depending on the spring, when the vines start to, big little notes on the vines every 6-7 inches where a branch is going to come.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little soft. It's hard and then it gets soft. That's when the worms.
They try to get in the soft spot.
And they bore into that. You go out there in the field and look, and it looks like somebody took a drill and drilled little holes in the vines.
Wow.
And see, it not only gets that year's crop, but likely nothing ever comes from that point again. That's just that growing point's dead. And you'll see vines that had a lot of damage. They'll be that far, there's nothing growing. There's just a bare stem going out and on after.
From the cutworms.
So yeah, and so we thought, well, heck, we just put a screen on the deal, and so we made a kind of a crude screen and put on the back of the sprayer and blew them off into that screen and caught them. So then we built this one where the sprayer only had a blower on it, cut the sprayer off, and just put a 3-point on the deal and refined the catcher a little bit and started catching worms. And this year, like we've only got 5 or 6 gallons. It's been a pretty good year. But 2 years ago, we had 18 gallons of worms before we.
Wow.
The boys put them in a 5-gallon bucket to show off.
Yeah.
They like to show them.
17 gallons of cutworms 2 years ago? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And you invented this machine, that kind of something that you invented?
Well, if you call it invention, we rigged it up, yeah.
Yeah. Has anybody else kind of caught on to that?
Well, yeah, there's 2 or 3 guys that have, Mike Viveris picked him up one for his organic. Mike's probably the biggest organic grower in the state now.
Who is?
Mike Viveris.
Oh, Michael Tagaris, yeah.
and we buy most of your fruit.
Right. So that you use that in your Powers brand, a lot of the Taqueras fruit, or?
Yeah, no, we use some, the organic stuff goes into our organic brand,
Right,
and then we buy some conventional fruit from him also that goes in our Powers.
in your Powers brand.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing. So who were some of the first guys in the big grape growers back in the day when you were first starting up?
Oh, you know, Jeff Gordon started along with the same year, he was up the river,
Yeah, Gordon Brothers?
yeah. And, you're talking about the new growers and,
No, just who were the basic main growers back in the day when you first got started? Some of the early pioneers.
well, there were quite a few guys up in the Grandview Sunnyside area that were growing Concord,
Mm-hmm.
that were transferring over. And, I'm trying to think of, well, you know, I can't think of their names now very well. But,
That's all right.
But that was mostly guys transferring over that had been growing Concords and moving over into wine grapes.
Right.
And
Did you ever foresee 800 wineries in Washington State back
no
then?
way, no way. You know, we got our license in '88, I guess,
Okay, 88 for a winery?
and we was 144, still are 144.
144, that's...
And that started in 1932, the numbers.
So from 32 to 88, there was only 144 wineries that
Right.
were licensed in the state of Washington.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. And
So-
you know, even today, there's probably only 60, 70 wineries that are actually selling much to the public. Most of these small little mom and pops sell out of their tasting room
Right.
and what they can peddle local. That's
Right.
about it.
So you think there's only about 70 that are big enough to go out to a distributor?
Yeah,
And, okay.
and go to all over
Gotcha.
the U.S. and export.
Well, that kind of puts it in perspective. When you say 800 wineries, there's a lot of just boutique wineries that, yeah, sell out of them.
And they really do a lot for the thing. You know, these guys, you know, it's unbelievable how much this thing has changed and how quickly.
Yeah.
In around 1985, 86, 95 or 96, it was a tough son of a gun. And then, you know, they come out with this little deal about how the Frenchmen were drinking wine and eating all these rich foods.
Yeah.
And it really, it started everybody to taste a little more wine.
Right. Yeah, that was a big boost for the...
And then it just kept a roaring. And just like in yesterday's paper, I noticed where there's a new study where wine was good for your kidneys.
Yeah? Yeah.
You know, those things. But I mean, that's what started things breaking loose here.
Yeah.
We only, I believe this is right, that we only use about, per capita, about 2/10 of a bottle of wine per capita in the 90s.
Prior to 96.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and now, I don't know what it is, but it's quite a bit.
Yeah, well, the U.S. has become the #1 consumer of wine. They beat out
You know,
Italy and France now.
some places like New York were drinking quite a little wine.
Mm-hmm.
In California, where they particularly had a lot of people from the Central Europe. But here in Washington, and Idaho, and all across here, there's hardly any. I remember myself.
Yeah, I read that you really didn't like wine at first.
I got sick on it when I was 18 years
Yeah.
old, and couldn't stand it for years. I'd go in a liquor store and just shudder and look at the wine shelf.
I had a similar experience myself.
The kid bought a gallon of California white port
That'll do it.
and tried to drink it.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was along in the 60s we got to drink there was a line called Cold Duck.
Yeah.
That was a wine with a
little sparkle.
With Concord in it.
Yeah.
And it was pretty tasty.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom was a big cold drinker.
Yeah, we got into it. It's popular there in the mid-60s.
Yeah. Well, it's still at my store. Still, I sell quite a bit of cold
Is it still out there?
Yeah. The hairdressers like it.
Well, it's a good starter wine.
It is, yeah. Yeah, that Lambrusco, I kind of, Cello Lambrusco was my cut my teeth wine. But we got to show that, okay, for you viewers, this is Eddie. This is Bill's dog. And he is pestering us like crazy to be petted. So just to let you know what all that scratchy noise is about. So how do you feel about the big boys from California coming up into Washington? Gallo?
Unbelievable.
Yeah?
Unbelievable.
Do you think it'll affect grape prices?
No.
Think they'll stay pretty even keeled?
Well, see, like Gallows are coming here.
Yeah.
But they're not making cheap wine.
No.
They're making
15, yeah,
number
15.
one wines.
Yeah.
And you got to give credit to San Michel. They have been the greatest. Without them, this thing had never happened.
Yeah,
They have been. I grew them for them for 3 years, but right today, if I had a problem, I could call on them and they'd give me. They have top people in almost everything, and I never had one that didn't try to answer any kind of question you had.
Okay.
And then they've marketed good wines. You go anywhere, you'll see them on the shelf.
Yes.
They've been the leader.
Yes, they have.
But they haven't tried to push the little guys.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
It's very seldom you ever see a huge company, all you read, and stuff, that really is there for everyone.
Well, that's a nice perspective. I don't think a lot of people realize that.
I don't either.
Yeah.
But it is. And, I remember maybe 97, 98, the San Michel vice president was down there at the time, Pete, anyway, he called me up one day and he said, "Bill, have you got any place playing a little bit of Cabernet Franc?" I said, "We've Cabernet Franc that was here was all diseased, and we've developed some clean rootstock, and we got enough for about 3 acres left over." Said, "If you got a place, I'll send it up." Just deals like that.
So they sent you some Cab Franc roots to plant?
They gave me the finished plants. It wasn't
Yeah.
just roots, yeah.
You still have them here?
Yeah.
Yeah?